Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today is round 8 and as you can see it was a little bit of a rainy one. I did have a nice new rain oversuit, but after a couple of laps the water was going above my head and back down under the suit, so it didn't make too much difference. Even though there was a lot of water on the track and we were going underwater at some points, it felt like at least. We had some really good racing and definitely our best result of the season. So without further ado, let's have a look at what happened in practice. Alright, so time for practice. Apologies if I sound a bit weird, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, but the voiceover has to be done. I've been putting it off for long enough. As you can see, it is absolutely soaking wet. There is a ridiculous amount of puddles on the track, which is a little bit kind of not scary, but kind of scary. Not because I don't want to have a crash, more if... You can hear I was quite surprised that the kart was still even running, and the thing I was kind of scared of was if this breaks down, if the engine gets flooded, I'm going to have to swim back to the pit lane to get a new one, which does not sound fun. And that brand new wetsuit, as that was a lovely move around the outside, it would have been nice if this was a race, but the lovely new wetsuit just completely maybe lasted this lap, and then the water was just going underneath it from going over my head, like you can see there. And yeah, today it's less of a karting championship and more of a race boat championship. It's just a crazy, I mean, it doesn't come across on camera because it never does, but it was ridiculous. It was so fun, so crazy, and yeah, almost felt lucky to get to drive in conditions as bad as this, because it's like a once in a lifetime experience. You're never gonna drive a kart in something like this ever again. Going literally underwater there, it felt like the water was above my head, being sprayed at least. Obviously the puddle wasn't that deep, but yeah, you know, if this was a like Club 100, that kind of championship running 2 strokes, there's no way they would ever let you drive in these conditions. But absolute legends at South Coast Karting gave us the option. They were like, if you want to race, you can race, but it's at your own risk. If the karts break down, you're done, because we can't fix them that quickly. But that was enough of practice. Let's see how we can do in the race. Alright, so here we go, heat 1. I can already tell this is going to be absolute carnage, so let's just try and get a decent start and get through it, survive. Hopefully we'll be able to gain a position or two, but I'll be happy to just not lose any. Away we go, And to be fair, we've actually got away pretty well there. We're going to lose a place straight away, or no we're not, we're just going to lose the opportunity to gain one, but we are going to go up the inside here. Nice little move, that's going to put us into P6, which is actually the highest we've been, or one of the highest we've been all season. We're going to see if we can get around, because of this battle in front, if we can just sort of slide, literally slide through and gain another cheeky position at the start. As you may have been able to tell in practice, we're actually missing out the chicane at the end because the puddle there is so big, as you can see. Or, well, you can't really see because it was that wet. We're going to see if we can go around the outside now, though, into turn 1. So little grip, that was not the best idea. We're going to lose a place, and then you can see 2 people off the track there, so we're going to gain that place back. Now the carnage really starts. We go up the inside, lots of contact. We didn't get penalties for this because it couldn't be helped. But just, I can't even commentate this at all, just enjoy, because this is craziness going on here. There's too much to say. But we're gonna come out with 1 place lost. Could have been a lot worse, probably could have been more prepared for it and gained a couple, but that's how it is. At the moment I'm just focused on trying to finish the race. There was a board there, luckily it wasn't for us, but yeah, the penalties and warnings for this round are kind of just, you have to do something pretty bad to get one, because as you can see, loads of contact because none of us could do anything about it. We're going to look at trying to gain a place here, but we've got Elliot, I think that is, on our inside, who's going to be able to get around us into this, the fastest corner. So we're going to lose another place down into P8, dropping 2 from where we qualified in P6, which is not great. I think today we should probably be able to capitalise on the crazy conditions, because it tends to sort of level the playing field when the weather is this atrocious. So let's see what we can do. The race is long, we've still got 7.5 minutes left, but we're going to skip to 5 because nothing really happened for those few minutes, which is saying something. But again, right on the back of pretty much everyone, there wasn't an opportunity for Caleb to pull away like he normally would. We're going to see if we can go up the inside though. Boom, lovely, done, move made. Gonna have to defend on the inside here, and we're just about going to manage to keep the place, but we cannot see anything there. A couple people going into the barrier, and we're actually going to gain loads of places there, all the way up into P5. And there we go. This is what I was saying earlier about just trying to stay safe and maximize other people's misfortune, I guess. And there's been a bit of a gap opened up in front, which goes against what I was about to say, which, yeah, Caleb and the guys at the front didn't really run away in these races like they normally would, apart from when there was crashes like that, just because there wasn't really anyone fast or slow. It was just try and get around the track. Here is Caleb dropping back a bit. I don't know, maybe he had a bad kart. We can't see anything. But yeah, we're going to see if we can make up a place on him. We're not. We're going to lose one back into 6th, which again, to be honest, I wouldn't be disappointed with that for Heat 1. But I'd quite like to try and pick up a sneaky 4th place, which would be our 2nd best heat result of the season. We have a little bit of contact there, put our hand up and say sorry, didn't mean to hit you, and we'll just try and stay on the back of these 2 for now. Obviously there's not long left of the race, I didn't know that at the time, otherwise maybe I would have gone for a move, but it is so hard to overtake when it's this wet. You kind of just have to wait for an error, of which everyone made quite a lot. So coming on to what's probably the last lap of the race, gonna see probably not going to happen there unless we get a good run out of that 2nd corner. No, not quite, so we'll look for a switch back here. We might just be able to make it happen if we really go for a lunge, but we're going to play it safe. I don't want to cause a big crash. If you have even a little bit of contact when it's as slippy as this, you can end your and someone else's race, and just don't want to do that, not this early in the evening at least. But there's the checkered flag. We made it to the end of the race, which is an achievement in itself. Well, that's what it felt like, at least. Soaking wet, but that was a lot of fun. Alright then, time for the second heat, starting 6th, which is where we finished in the first heat. On the outside is going to be pretty tricky. You can see just literally like boats going through that massive puddle there, but we've got to focus. We've lost a place off the start there. That was quite bad really, but it's going to allow us to slot in on the left, which should keep us safe through this first corner, which it has. That's the first goal of the race achieved, make it through turn 1. Again, in these conditions, it's not guaranteed. Although, to be fair, it's not guaranteed in normal conditions. We've got someone wide in front of us. We're going to try and sneak through. It's so much harder to tell who's who when everyone's wearing wetsuits and it's so wet. But we're going to have half a look at a move up the inside there. It's not going to come off in the end. So we've dropped to 1 place in the first lap. Not ideal. And we can see we're going to drop another one there. I'm going to understeer into the barriers. And gonna lose loads of places here. We're gonna drop all the way into last. Just, yeah, annoying incident. It's slippery. No one is in full control over the karts. Things like that happen. Now we're gonna have a bit of a challenge. We're gonna be in last and see if we can overtake anyone, or maybe even everyone. Although I don't think that's likely. And for now, we're just going to focus. Let's get some consistent lap times in, wait for these guys to make a mistake and try and capitalise on it. We're going to skip ahead a couple of minutes, and you can see just on the back of these two here, they're going to have a proper battle. For the many races, we've got a bit of rallycross going on over there. We're going to see if we can sneak around the inside. These two had a great battle all race long. I was actually having quite a lot of fun watching it. It made the being soaking wet and last a little bit more bearable. But that being said, we are going to try and make a move if one of these guys gets a bit of a slow exit. You can see there's actually 4 of us in it now, and we're starting to lose contact a little bit. It looks like at this point a mistake probably wouldn't let us have the opportunity to go through. Again, going to try that same move. Again, not quite going to come off. That'll be a bad run. We'll see if we can get them up the inside there. No, it's just not going to happen. We don't quite have the run. The puddle, that last corner's got a little bit less now. Into the barriers, we've had some contact, a bit of a whack. I can't imagine what it was like for them. Must have been a bit horrible, but we are going to gain a place off of it, if not lose a little bit of time. Luckily though, everything was alright. We're going to skip forwards, and now in 11th, a minute and a half or so left, trying to make up this next position and see if we can get a 10th place out of this race. Bit annoying to drop back all the way from 6th to 11th with the possibility of 10th, but that's racing, especially, like I said a million times, with conditions like this. We can go up the inside, a lot of contact there, but it looks like we've both got through. We're going to be on the outside here. That'll put us at a disadvantage. We'll have to work on our run. Maybe we can get a switch back through here. No, we're just going to follow their line. Could look at a move up the inside here. No, we're going to go wide, prioritize our exit, and looks like that was the right decision. We're going to fly. Got a good run, jumping over the curbs, taking a lot of track liberties there, but we've made it through. Both of us, both still pointing the right direction and making it through. 1 place gained on what looks like the penultimate lap, which is very, very nice, even if it is for P10. Racing is racing. That was a lot of fun, and even though this was quite a bad result, probably one of the worst of the season for this heat, it was actually one of my favourite races. It was a lot of fun. The conditions were, like I said, just starting to get a little bit better, so that puddle just here was a little bit more, a little bit less scary, I think is the way to put it. We're going to get through though. I've got a contact warning there. I'm not sure what for. I think it was probably for the battle before. It just took them a second to get it on the board. But yeah, last lap, P10. Quite a big gap in front there, unless something very drastic happens. I doubt we're going to catch them up. But like I said, a fun race, changing conditions. If the track keeps drying at this rate, we might have a pretty good time in the final. But that is for then. Going slowly out of the final chicane there, we caught them a lot. But in the end, P10, and let's go on to the final. Okay, final time. Let's see what we can do. Starting P7, helped out massively by our qualifying and Heat 1 results. So actually not looking too bad. I know that we can make up some positions during this race, so let's see what we can do. The track's dried quite a lot, but the green flag is waved and it's a decent start actually. We're going to establish ourselves on the inside here into turn 1. Could make up a position or 2 here, but the grip on the outside is a lot more, so we're going to have a lot less of an advantage than we would have earlier in the races. Still understeering a lot because of these conditions, even though they're not as wet as they were earlier. They're still pretty soaking. It's just a bit of an illusion because everyone's got a bit of recency bias for how wet is wet. But enough said, let's focus on the racing. We've not made up any positions just yet, although if we can stay on the back of this group, because it's wet, there will be chaos, there will be crashes, and there will be a good time. So let's see. We've just got to keep on the back of this group, which we're not doing at the moment, and we should be able to do some good results. Someone's gone off there into the barriers facing the wrong way, so we're going to gain one place like that and a whole lot of time on P5 to P1. So a move into here could be possible. This very fast left-hander, at least is very fast in the dry, not quite going to happen, but that number 11, by the looks of it, Kart, has gone quite wide. So if they make that mistake again later on, I know that if I just position myself a little bit wider on the entrance, I can cut back through and did exactly what I did to get into P10 in the last race. So that kind of shows, oh, someone round there. That'll be another place. That's quite rare to see someone spin in a traction zone, at least in rental karts. We're going to see if we can go up the inside here, so trying to gain 2 places in 1 lap. Almost going to make it happen there, but I think the inside line was the wrong choice there, at least at this point in the race. Sparks flying up for these poor karts being scraped along the side of the track. We'll see. We know there's more grip on the outside from lap 1, but we can't use it for now. Switchback is not quite going to be on. But they've gone wide. Can we cut back? No, we've also made a bit of a mistake. What about through here? Can we do the same again? They've gone deep. They're going to have to take a tight line here. Not quite got the room to get ourselves up the inside. But if we take that wide entrance here, we might be able to carry more speed and go up the inside just like this. Kart scraping along the side of the track. Sorry George, if you're watching this. I normally try and take a bit better care of the karts, but it has got us into P4, so in my eyes at least, it's worth it. Skipping ahead quite a few minutes now to 7 minutes left, and it's quite a long race, these ones. Yeah, these finals is kind of, they're 2 minutes longer, I think, because they're 12 instead of 10. So it's great normally when you're starting from quite far back because you've got plenty of time to overtake, but when you're in 4th like we are here, and you can't see on camera, but we had a group of maybe at least 3, probably 4 or 5 people behind us that I was trying to defend from. When you have an extra 2 minutes, which is about 4 laps, 5 if you're unlucky, it makes it quite a lot more difficult, or at least it feels like that when you're driving. These races feel like they go on forever when you've got something to lose. And as you can see, we've lost so much time to the guys in front that they're probably not going to be catchable, just because I've been driving so defensively, trying to keep everyone behind me so I can come away with my best result. And yeah, because I decided to film practice, the camera died, guys. I know it used to happen all the time. I thought I fixed it, but no, it just ran out of battery today. But it's okay, because nothing else really happened to this race. We just drove, we went over the line, it was nice. I got out of the kart, went to look at the timing screen, and I saw P3, because turns out Sean, I think it was, had a penalty for some contact earlier on in the race, and that was one of the people we saw in the barriers. So our first podium in the final, very nice. Gonna get a trophy. You can see a couple photos from the podium. It was a bit dark though, so they're not the best. And a nice little surprise result. Didn't get it on track, unfortunately, but I don't care. It's a trophy to put next to my helmet, and a very good, fun night of racing. I think pretty much everyone was in every position at some point there, from last to first, and came away with a podium for the first time this season. It's been a great result, and I hope you guys have had a great time watching as well. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you in the next round for another great race.